As it is becoming the spooky season, I thought it's the perfect time to get into more dark romance books. One of my favourite books, one of my favourite series ever is the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey, and it is literally a 6-star read for me. But I haven't ever delved into dark romance since then, so I don't actually know if I like it as a genre or if the Mindfuck series was just a hit for me and I just loved it so much. But it is now time to pick our first dark romance for this video, and obviously because I love the Mindfuck series so much, my amazing fiance Riley was scouring the internet last night, scrolling through loads and loads of books, and he literally searched books like the Mindfuck series, because he wanted me to have the same sort of vibes. I thought that maybe that would be best because dark romance obviously has so many subgenres, but if you're not aware, the Mindfuck series is about a female serial killer called Lana, and she has a lot of trouble in her childhood, which is why she becomes a serial killer. She wants to get revenge for everything that happened. She ends up getting with the FBI agent that's actually studying her case. Mind blown. But obviously the FBI agent doesn't know that it's her, and then it all unfolds, and it's amazing, and it is literally one of my 6-star reads. So obviously I thought that it'd probably be best to start off with the same sort of vibe as that, considering I loved it so much, and then I'm going to progress further into dark romance maybe. I don't know. But as he was searching on the internet for books like the Mindfuck series, he came across one called Morally Corrupt by Veronica Lancet. That's probably going to be the first book for this video. Hopefully this video, the aim of this video is to hopefully like a new genre, a new subgenre of romance, and hopefully I'm going to become a dark romance kind of gal. But I do a criminal psych degree, so I think I can handle it. If I can do that, I can handle a dark romance. So I'm going to get started on reading Morally Corrupt by Veronica Lancet. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so the first page is literally a bunch of trigger warnings, and it is blood, gore, obviously, bullying, cannibalism, sorry, child abuse, death, drug addiction, guns, graphic violence, graphic sexual situations, kidnapping, light BDSM, murder, prostitution, suicide, serious injury and torture. I don't think I'm mentally prepared for this. Just can't get over cannibalism. I mean, come on. I mean, I can understand the child abuse and the death and the graphic violence, but the cannibalism, that's probably where I draw the line. That is so cool. So I'm reading chapter 1, which is like the female main character, I'm assuming. She's putting on like loads of different disguises, so she's literally dressing up as like a schoolgirl. She's put on fake braces, a whole school uniform, put her hair in like pigtails and stuff. She's good. She is good at this. And what I'm gathering, she's like an assassin. So obviously in the Mindfuck series, Lana was a serial killer. But Bianca in this book, she's like an assassin, and she works for this company, I want to say, or like this man who then, basically she wants to get revenge on like people that do wrong, so like paedophiles and like horrible, horrible people. Oh, I've just found something out. I know something you don't. I know something you don't. And I'm literally on page 9 and I'm already gasping. This is good. I'm happy right now. So it's just been revealed. I'm on page like 100 already. That has gone so quick. But they've just sort of revealed her first ever kill and like something that happened that sort of got her into this business. That is mad. Hello guys, it is the next day now and I'm still obviously reading Morally Corrupt, but I'm gonna head to Starbucks with one of my besties, Amy. Luckily she's a reader as well, so I'm hoping to get a little bit of reading done when I'm in there, but obviously I've got my Kindle with me. I got up to page 161 of Morally Corrupt last night and I really thoroughly have enjoyed the last 160 pages. But the one thing that I'm gonna say, and I don't want to spoil it, I don't want this to class as like a spoiler, I don't even know whether I should say that or not. Basically, people start finding out stuff that happened in the first 160 pages, which is not even halfway through the book. The part of me's thinking, what is the other half of the book for then? Oh, there's someone parking up behind me. Hello. But yeah, I just think like if everything's unraveling now, 30-ish% into the book, then what is the other half of the book for? Obviously, things will happen. Things are going to progress. It is a dark romance. It can go anywhere, but I'm kind of thinking like, what's going to happen? What is going on right this second? I don't know. It's just, I can't really see where it's going, if that makes sense. Although there are certain things about a different character that I wouldn't have suspected would be bad. Things are happening with them as well. Hopefully we get to see their events and their sort of background, and I think that's where the book is leading at the moment. I think it's leading towards this other character's story as well, and like linking it with the original Bianca's story. So I'm hoping to see that. That would be very, very interesting. So it hasn't actually been that dark at the moment. Obviously there have been gory scenes, mentions of abuse and just all this sort of stuff, but as far as actual things go in the actual book, it could get a lot darker. So again, scared for the second half, but it should be good. It is the next day and I'm on page 241, which is chapter 36, and it is getting really, really weird, to say the least. It's literally making me laugh, which maybe it shouldn't. I think I've just got a really, really bad sense of humour. But there's a little bit and it goes, "You cut his fingers?" Adrian's mouth snaps open in shock. And then it goes, "Only the thumbs and the pointers." And then someone goes, "Good Lord." And it's just making me really laugh. I just love it. And then further down on the page, she goes, "Let's microwave them." Someone's fingers on a plate. In a little Ziploc bag. That is disgusting. And she's like, "Yeah, let's microwave them." Girl, please. I do plan on finishing it today though, because I'm spending quite a few hours in the car today. I'm going somewhere. I'm a busy gal. Obviously, I'm going to bring my Kindle with me and just binge it really, because Riley's driving. And when Riley drives, I read. That is literally just the rule. I'm just going to sit here and read for a bit while I have to wait to leave, and then I'm going to binge some more in the car. So I'm excited for that. A successful reading day, I think. I don't know where to put the camera. Currently sat in Riley's car. We've literally just arrived at our little destination for the weekend, which is lovely. I'm up to 70% of the way through the book right now, and I'm finding it really, really hard to read. Obviously, in the beginning of the book, there was trigger warnings for cannibalism, child abuse, and just stuff like that. And at first, it was dark, but it wasn't like terrible dark. It was like, it was bearable. I could potentially read it, but it's getting really, really gross now. Like the minute like children are involved, obviously it's going to make me feel like really, really sick, and it's just really, really difficult to read about. It's not a very nice topic as well, obviously, to read about, so thoroughly not enjoying this section of the book. Like it's actually disgusting, finding myself feeling a little bit sick. I plan on finishing the book today. I mean, it is going very, very well. It's a fairly short book as well, but I don't know. I just think as the themes get darker and darker, I'm struggling a little bit more with actually reading it, but should be fine. I'll get through it, I promise. Sorry if you can hear Riley shouting in the background. He's with his family, just having a little chit chat. But I've decided to come up to the room and finish Morally Corrupt. I think I've only got like 2 chapters left. So I'm gonna get this finished, because why not? I'm literally just sat chilling out. They're having some family time. I did ditch them just to read my book, but sometimes you've got to do what you got to do. Oh. That ending is crazy. I was literally not expecting that. I was not expecting that to take that turn. Oh my god. So, of course, it is now rating and review time. I don't really know where to start. I'm gonna probably start by saying that if you are gonna read this book, please check trigger warnings, and I cannot stress that enough. This book does focus on graphic sexual scenes with children, cannibalism. Like, the trigger warnings are there for a reason, so you can't go into this thinking that you can just get away with it, because if those topics are definitely triggering to you, steer away. That being said though, when I was reading this book, I think I was gonna rate it like a 4-star or a 4.75, but as I've just been sitting and thinking after finishing it just now, I think I'm gonna rate it like a 3.5 or maybe a 3.25, because I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna feel about it later on. I'm one of them people that I rate books based on how I feel it in the future. If I'm still thinking about it in a year's time, I know it's a good book, but I don't think that this book was memorable enough for me to think about it again in the future very much, if that makes sense. Maybe once this video is done, I'm probably never gonna think about the book again. So I think I'm going to go 3.25 or maybe at the most 3.5. I'm going to put my final rating on screen somewhere. I found that the first half of the book was so interesting, and if that storyline stayed on track, I probably would have rated it a 4-star, because the first half of the book was amazing. When the husband didn't know that she was an assassin, it was incredible. It was like the mindfuck series. It was amazing, and I could have potentially rated it 4 or above, but literally around halfway, not even halfway through the book, I think it was around 30%, the whole storyline changed. Things started being uncovered, which is fine, but it was a little bit too early on for me. I feel like if that was dragged on a little bit longer, I would have enjoyed it more. And the whole second half of the book, it took a turn. It was interesting, don't get me wrong, it was still an interesting storyline. I just much preferred the first half of the book, so the whole second half of the book wasn't as enjoyable to me. So that definitely brought it down like half a star maybe. But yeah, I'm glad I read it, 100%. And I did enjoy the book as a whole, so maybe I am a dark romance girly. Obviously, as I said, there was definitely parts that were really difficult to read. Definitely parts that were making me feel a little bit sick. Definitely parts that were a little bit far-fetched or a little bit gross, to be quite honest. But I did enjoy it as a whole. Hey guys, it is the next day now, and I don't know if you saw me chilling out in the car listening to my headphones, but I started a new audiobook which is a dark romance, and it's called Devil's Advocate by Vivi Paige. It's like a dark mafia kind of romance between a lawyer and this mafia person, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I started it just before we got into the car yesterday. We were in the car for around 2 hours, and I think I listened to about an hour and a half of it, I think. This is one of the shortest audiobooks I've ever encountered. I think like the normal average length for an audiobook is around 12 hours in normal speed, and this one's about 5 hours in normal speed, and I'm listening to this audiobook in 2.5 speed, so I literally think I'm going to get it done in like a couple of hours, literally. So I'm hoping to just get it finished today. I do have work though. I have work from 2 PM till 6 PM, so I'm going to listen to it on the way there, probably on the way back as well, get some more of it done. I am enjoying it, but obviously it is fairly short, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it, whether it's going to feel rushed or whatever, but first impressions, I think it's good so far. I think it is quite a niche book as well. I've never heard of it from anyone. I've never heard anyone talk about it before. I've never seen it anywhere before. I literally just typed in dark romance on Scribd, which is what I'm listening to it on. It came up, so I picked it. I just feel like I've got such a dark sense of humour, because they're literally talking about murder and they're literally talking about just these dark topics, and I'm sat there laughing. I just don't think my sense of humour is appropriate for dark romance. I'm just like, haha, he murdered her, or like they'll say something like fun. Obviously it's not a funny topic, but just the way that it's written and the way that the jokes are delivered just make me laugh. So maybe I'm just horrible, maybe I'm just a really mean person. Look who has come to see us today. Say hey. You love these people, don't you? They're our best friends. I say this and I'm literally saying that I'm laughing at murder, and then I talk to her like that. I have no hope for myself. I'm literally just going on to Goodreads now to check how many pages it is, because obviously it's a fairly short audiobook. So I'm like, how many pages is it for real? In real life, in a real physical copy? Oh, okay, it's only 270 pages, which obviously explains why it's so short. I can 100% get this done today. I've literally got 500-page books done in one day before. So I'm definitely going to finish this audiobook today, especially in 2.5 speed. I feel so bad for like audiobook narrators and authors and stuff, because they spend their life, they spend blood, sweat and tears writing these books, getting someone to narrate them. The poor narrators sat in a booth for like 5 hours plus, sometimes like 24 hours, depending on how long the book is, just for me to shove it in 2.5 speed and get it done in a day. All that effort for what? What are they actually spending their time doing? I feel bad for them, I'm sorry guys. It is the next day now, and I actually said that I was going to finish The Devil's Advocate yesterday because it was literally a fairly short audiobook. I was like, I can smash this out in one day. And I just got so busy last night that I just couldn't finish it. So I'm heading out to my dad's now, and it normally takes me half an hour to get to my dad's, but I've got around 45 minutes left of the audiobook, so I'm hoping to hit a little bit of traffic. If I hit every red light on the way to my dad's, I can get this book finished. I actually think that's the first time in my entire life that I've wished traffic and red lights upon myself. Yesterday I was driving home and I hit every red light and I was absolutely livid. So hopefully today we can have the same energy from the traffic wardens, from the highway code. I need some traffic, please, because I need to get this book done. I am still really enjoying the audiobook. It's getting to the point now where they're getting more into like the criminal case as to why he needed the lawyer in the first place. So that is obviously very interesting. As a criminal psych student, I like that criminal side of it as well as obviously like the romance. That's why I like crime and I like thrillers, because I'm really interested in reading obviously like about the criminal justice system, and not me trying to sound academic. Leave me alone. Mind your business. But you know what I mean. It's an interesting topic to obviously read about. But obviously I really want to know what happens with the case. I want to know if he's found guilty or not guilty. We know what happens in the very first chapter of the book. We know whether he is innocent or guilty or not. But that doesn't mean that the court is going to find him innocent or guilty. There you go. But I'm going to head to my dad's now, have a little bit of a drive, and yeah, vibe, live life. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I haven't even put my key in the car yet. That would be a great idea. Guys, they're doing the deed and she literally just called her vagina a quivering mound of love jelly. A quivering mound of love jelly. Please help me God. This is not going very well, is it? My camera has literally just... Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna give up. I'll see you when I get there. When I said that I wanted to be stuck in traffic, this is not what I meant. I am now stuck in traffic and I'm livid. This is not okay. So I'm at my dad's now and I did manage to finish The Devil's Advocate on the way here. I got stuck in so much traffic you would not even believe. Never ever wish traffic upon yourself, guys, because karma is well and truly real. Because I got stuck in so much traffic, it literally took me like nearly an hour to get here, which was good because it meant that I got to finish my audiobook, but it was also absolutely ridiculous because I was like, I've put this on myself. This is absolutely horrible. But in terms of like my actual rating and review, I feel like I got a little bit awkward towards the end listening to an audiobook for a dark romance, because I feel like with romance specifically, there's obviously a lot of smut, especially in dark romance. It's like more of a dark based smut as well, so it's not very child friendly to sit and listen to. Obviously I was on my own in the car, so it didn't matter, but when they were in that situation and she said a quivering mound of love jelly, I actually nearly crashed my car into a bridge on purpose. I was so close to just being like, I am done. I am done. I'm not listening to this audiobook anymore. And I only had about half an hour left. And I couldn't even turn it off because I was driving. But I feel like I'm going to rate the book a 2.75 or a 3-star. Because again, it wasn't amazing. It was a little bit short as well. I feel like if it was a little bit longer, there would have been more depth to the book. The romance and everything, and like for the characters to come together. And I feel like the ending was really, really rushed. The whole way through, the characters were like, we can't be together. We can't be together. You know, like the classic miscommunication, classic whatever. And then right at the end, it was like, bam, book over. And I was like, all of that for what? And obviously, as I said, it's only like 270-ish pages or whatever it was. I feel like it was really rushed. It could have easily been like 300 pages and then had 30 pages for like the romance to progress a little bit further. But all of the criminal case stuff, that was good. Everything else was actually good. I liked how the lawyer and the mafia person like came together. That was good. I can't even remember their first names. Let's be real. That just goes to show that I didn't really care about the book. But I actually don't think that this is a reflection of dark romance, because as I said, I liked the dark romance side of it. The video's aim is for me to start liking dark romance, to see whether I like it or not, and I am still going to stand by the fact that I do like it, but this book in particular just wasn't what I wanted it to be. I just wanted the actual, considering it was a dark romance, I wanted the romance to be a little bit more present. Like, it was there, but it could have developed slowly. And I feel like as well, if I didn't read it as an audiobook, if I actually sat and read the physical copy of the book, I feel like I would have hated it even more. I think I would have rated it like a 2-star if I actually sat and read it, but I feel like the audiobook definitely made it easier to read. Despite it being a little bit awkward at times, I definitely preferred listening to it as an audiobook. So maybe that maybe bumped up my rating a little bit as well. I feel like I would have hated it if I read it physically. Good evening guys, it is time for our third and final book for today's video. I have already just read the prologue of Thorne Princess by LJ Shen. As you would have just seen in this video, I went to Starbucks with my friend Amy, and when we went to Starbucks she actually gave me her copy of this book. You can literally see her tabs in it because she DNF'd this book at 50% because she said it was too dark and she absolutely hated it. It just wasn't her kind of book. So obviously I'm sitting here thinking this book is going to be like the darkest thing I've ever read. She said that the male main character has some issues and stuff, so I'm really excited to see like what those issues are, what kind of things he's into, because obviously normally dark romance centres around sort of like kinks and stuff, which is a little bit uncomfy but I can't wait to see like what's going on, and I can't wait to see what she's tabbed as well. I feel like there's something so personal about annotations, so I'm literally just going to see like what she's written and stuff in here, so I'm excited to get this book started. So all I've read is the prologue and the blurb, so based off of just that alone I know that it's about a rich girl called Hallie, and she's like the daughter of a president or something of the United States, and she sort of goes off the rail. She's like a problem child. She's just one of them rich entitled people that just doesn't have any value for anything and stuff, so they hire her a bodyguard. Her dad, who was the president before, hires her a man called Ransom Lockwood. What kind of name is Ransom, by the way? To be her bodyguard and basically just look after her, but obviously I can tell that it's probably going to take like a dark turn and stuff, so kind of intrigued about that. But this is the first dark romance that I've read that isn't based off of serial killers or murder in some sort of way. This is just a bodyguard romance, so it'll be interesting to see whether I like that or not as well. But the prologue was literally 17 pages, so that is literally the only dent I've made into this book so far. The first chapter, chapter 1, starts from Ransom, which is the main male character's point of view, so I guess we get to see him straight away. I'm in my PJs, I'm going to probably go and start it now, get a little bit more into the book, and then I'll give you sort of like my first impressions and just everything. The one thing that I do know though, and I will say, the main character's called Hallie. My little 1-year-old niece is called Hallie. So if this gets real dark and real graphic, I just know that it's going to make me feel absolutely vile. I need to stop imagining Hallie as a 1-year-old and Hallie as like a 20-year-old woman or something. This is going to be difficult. This book is literally getting straight into the story. So I'm on chapter 2. We already know who the characters are, who it's based off of, everything's started to happen, and he's already starting his job as the bodyguard literally by chapter 2. So I like that. There's not really much world building. This is good. We are getting straight into the story. Okay, so the reason that they hired her a bodyguard in the first place was because she had a nip slip at an event, and he's literally just called her Titty McFlash, and I'm literally just sat here laughing my head off about it. Titty McFlash. I don't know why that's got me so bad, but that is just so random. The main male character, I mean, he's okay as a character so far. Like, I don't really know him that well. I'm literally on page 73, but he literally calls her a brat in every single sentence. Like, I get the irony of the nickname, like she genuinely is a brat and she is very entitled and stuff, but he's literally just saying like, listen here brat, or hello brat, or this brat, that brat, and just like, it's a bit too much that it makes it not funny. If it was like every now and then and the comedic timing was good, it would be so much better. But because he's literally saying it in every single sentence, I'm like, you're overkilling it now. It's overkill. Shut up. You showed your tits to the entire world, Hallie. Do you really think what you need right now is more independence? There's also a then and now timeline, so the only then timelines that you get are from Ransom's childhood. He lived in like an orphanage or something, and obviously like goes through some trauma through that, so you get to see a little bit of that as well. I don't really know right now why it's relevant to the current story that we're in, but I guess it's nice to get some more background on the characters, because the more you know, the more you should enjoy it, right? Maybe? I don't know. So I've sat and read up to chapter 9, and that's around halfway through the book. It's not exactly halfway, but we're definitely getting there. But I just feel like this book isn't really that dark. Like, obviously my friend Amy literally DNF'd it because she said that she hated it so much because it was so dark. But I feel like this is literally just a normal romance with a really entitled rich girl who has daddy issues. The only like slightly dark thing that's happened so far is where we found out that the main male character has a kink, which obviously speaks for itself. That is, I don't even want to talk about that. But even then, you don't really see it present much in the book. It happens like a couple of times where it's spoken about and like that it's present in the book, but other than that, it's only really mentioned. So I'm like, what is so dark in this that made my friend DNF it? Obviously, everyone has like different limits, everyone has different opinions on what's dark and what's not, and obviously as someone that has read the Mindfuck series, I've read Morally Corrupt, I've now read The Devil's Advocate, they were a lot darker than this. But obviously I think this was Amy's first dark romance. I feel like she didn't really know that it was going to be a dark romance. I think she literally just picked it up thinking it was just going to be a cute little bodyguard princess romance, sort of like Twisted Games. Obviously not knowing this is a dark romance, it is going to seem dark, but obviously knowing that it is one going into it myself, I'm like, this isn't really that dark at all. I'm hoping that the second half of the book gets a little bit darker for my own sake and for the video's sake, but I'm not 100% sure it is going to be. But I feel like as well, it might seem less dark because it's not about serial killers. As I said before, this is my first dark romance that isn't serial killer based, so maybe that's what I was craving in that sense. Obviously because that isn't in the book, I'm like, this isn't dark at all, even though it probably actually is. It's just that compared to what else I've read this week, this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing at all. But I am really tired now, so I think I'm going to stop tonight. I'm on page 160, so that is around halfway. I think about 180 is halfway, so I'm thinking of just binging it tomorrow, seeing what happens. But for now, I don't really have much of an opinion. I don't really know what I'm going to rate it yet, because obviously, as I said, I'm only halfway. It could improve. I'm hoping it's going to improve. If this was just like a normal romance, I feel like I would rate it highly because it's making me laugh. There's like comedic aspects to it. The actual storyline is interesting. But other than that, compared to other dark romances, this is not really that enjoyable. So we'll see tomorrow when I get more into the book. I need a bookmark. I've lost a bookmark. I always have to put socks on so you guys don't see my feet. You're welcome. I'm literally having the most cozy morning ever. I've already read 50 pages of Thorne Princess this morning. I'm on page 209. I didn't really get much sleep last night and I just wanted like a slow, cozy morning. I do have a little bit of a headache though, but I am going out later, so I just said to myself, like, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to read. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read it all later due to going out. So I was like, I'm going to wake up extra early and read now. So that is what I'm doing. It's being a little bit of a successful reading day so far. 50 pages down. I've got around 166 pages left, so I'm just over halfway now. I don't think I'm going to get it finished today, but I am going to just have a slow reading morning, get a little bit done, and then hopefully we'll finish it tomorrow. Okay, I'm really confused now. So in a previous chapter, maybe a quarter of the way into the book, Hallie mentioned that she went to college for just like one semester and then she ended up dropping out because she just didn't want to do any of the academic stuff and whatever. And college just wasn't for her. But now, around 200 pages into the book, she's really struggling to read something. So she has to do a speech for something. And she's sitting there reading it out and she literally cannot even read it. She's sitting there going, and basically just not being able to like process the words and get the words out. But I'm like, how did you get into college? Like, I know that everyone has different levels of like academia and just smartness and whatever, but surely she would not have even got into the first semester of college if she could even read a bit of paper. A little bit unrealistic or not? Am I being wrong, or like, I don't get this. Hopefully it explains it. I don't understand this at all. Okay, so there's now like a load of pages of her saying that she thinks she has dyslexia, which obviously does understand what I've just spoken about, but surely she still wouldn't have got into college without letting them know that she had dyslexia because she can't read. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I can fully vouch for the fact that someone has dyslexia, and I know the struggles that people with dyslexia face, but how did she get into a top college without even being able to read one word? Fair enough if she could read, but it was like a little bit of a struggle, but she literally couldn't even read at all. I don't understand this book. This is just like so unnecessary for no reason. What now? Okay, now the book is saying that she's a virgin. We've known that from like the very first chapter, that she hasn't had sex before. But now she's saying that her first time she ever has, she wants it to be his fantasy. And I have already told you what his fantasy is. Why would a virgin want their first time to have a fantasy of that? I am not enjoying the second half of this book in the slightest. I don't even want to read it, but I am for you. You're welcome. Goodness me. Nothing's really changed since I last updated you. I'm still like a little bit meh on the book, not loving it, not hating it. There's certainly things I like, certainly things I dislike, so I just want to see how it ends now. So I'm going to binge the last 40 pages and then I'll get back to you. Finished Thorne Princess by LJ Shen. I feel like I want to rate it like a 3-star because it wasn't anything special. It wasn't as good as the other dark romances that I've read literally this week, so I feel like it was still good, hence the 3-star. 3-star is still a good rating. I just feel like it wasn't one of my favourites. It's definitely not up there with ones that I would potentially recommend. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like when we're looking at it alone as like its own book, it was good. It was a solid 3-star. Good things, bad things, whatever. But when you compare it to the other dark romances I've read this week, this definitely just was a little bit mediocre. There wasn't anything particularly special about it that I liked very much, and I don't know, I just feel like it was just meh. I did really like the romance side of it. I really liked that family was a big subplot in it. Hallie had very much difficulties with her family, and you sort of see the journey of that progress. I liked how the relationship progressed right up until the very end as well, so that was good. When you look at it from a dark romance perspective, it just wasn't that good, whereas if you look at it just as a normal romance, I guess it was good. I don't know. It's just really confusing. But as I said previously in this video, I think I'm going to be one to prefer more serial killer based dark romance rather than just normal dark romance. So I feel like when I am going to delve into dark romance in the future, that is what I'll tend to lean to rather than just like a normal bodyguard romance or whatever. As I said, the book was good. I just much preferred, considering dark romance, the darker versions of it. So this video has now come to an end. Although the books that I read in this video weren't necessarily 5 stars, I still very much enjoyed every second of reading them, and I still would very much recommend them to you guys. I sort of found more of a preference when reading dark romance, more serial killer over normal, which is good. I just wanted to sort of delve into it a little bit more and just see what I specifically liked and what I didn't like. I feel like no book that I've read in this video has topped the mindfck series yet. That is just my ride or die, pride and joy book, especially with dark romance, and I would recommend that to you any day. That is like a 6-star read for me. So if you haven't read the mindfck series, 100,000,000% go and do so. But that is all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, if you do want to read these books or any dark romance in particular, just please, please, please make sure that you are checking trigger warnings, because there are some very, very dark things, very dark topics in these books that can easily trigger everyone. You might think it wouldn't trigger you, but sometimes it can take you by surprise, so definitely check that. Google search, check the front of the book, just make sure that this book is right for you, because you don't want to get caught off guard and you don't want to get upset. I, however, really enjoyed myself, so I'm definitely going to carry on my dark romance journey 100%. But if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below your favourite dark romance, because I will definitely be reading more, and I will see you in my next video. Love you guys lots. Bye!